Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. We are doing Throwback Thursday today, and we are going to make a version of this really fabulous card. I have used on this one, it's the Seasons of Elegance Designer Series paper, and I've cut the tops out of the same paper, but I've cut the bottoms so that it's not all kind of gold foil. The background is a 5 1/4 by 4. The foreground is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And then I've used the Merry and the Christmas from the stamp set. It's on a cherry cobbler card base, and I've inked in cherry cobbler. And then I have used the traditional sparkling sequins to just decorate the baubles and to do a little bit of decoration around the edge as well. So the one that we're going to do today is a bit of a throwback. I'm using a Wild Wheat card base, and I'm using the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. I wanted to do something that was just a little bit different, but still kind of in theme. And I loved the richness and the elegance. It's, you know, Season of Elegance paper, but just the richness of it. And this Thoughtful Journey paper with the pretty peacock and the wild wheat just has a level of that elegance to it. So we've got a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the Designer Series paper, and it's the pretty peacock kind of coloring. Then we've got that 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Again, it's the Thoughtful Journey paper, and it's going to go down like that. And I can actually just attach those now. So why don't I go ahead and do that? With the baubles, I cut them out again from the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. But what I found when I stacked them together, there's not a lot of contrast. In this one, we've got the contrast between the beige and the red. This one, there wasn't a lot of contrast between these. So I just took my blending brush and Pretty Peacock and went around the edge, just to give it that little bit of definition. I'm just going to pop this down like this. And before I do anything else, I am going to take my Merry Christmas and my Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to stamp it down. Just because this is what might go wrong. If anything's going to go wrong, it's going to be this. So I'm going to do this. And technically, I could have done it before I glued everything down. And there we go. So there's our Merry Christmas. And we've got the first bauble, and I've already put some of those traditional sparkling sequins on it. Whoops. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this one. And we're going to pop it up like this. Now we're going to have it just overlap a little bit, so just the tail edge goes out onto the actual card base, like that. And then we're going to take this one, and I need to glue down the top. And I just cut these tops out of the offcut from here, just so that we've got similar kind of paper, and it's already got kind of a little bit of kind of a variegated look to it, so it's not just solid. So let's go ahead and glue this down. And I'm just going to pop this down like this, make sure I'm even on both sides, give it a push. And then there we go. This I'm going to dimensionalize down. Now you've got a couple of options. I can put all the bling on it before I dimensionalize it down, which might actually work. So I'm using the gold sequins because I don't have anything in Pretty Peacock, and I don't have any Pretty Peacock blends that I can color with this. I tried coloring with Mossy Meadow, and it's just very green. It doesn't quite look right. So I'm just laying these down kind of rounded as they would be if the bauble was actually in 3D. So I'm using the smallest sequins here. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to use the medium-sized sequins around the middle, just lower down, which makes sense because this is a, you know, slightly wider part of the bauble. But we're just going to keep coming in, and I'm just popping them down kind of side to side so that I can adjust if I'm a little bit off. And the nice thing about these sequins is these ones I must have repositioned them about 3 times. So you can stick them down, you can pick them back up again, and they're still just as sticky. So I'm just going to pop this one down like that. Okay, so that's the baubles done. I'm now going to dimensionalize this, and then we're going to adhere it down and add a little bit more bling to the card itself. I thought about doing the bauble this way up, but I thought it was too plain with the background. So we're going with the detailed piece. So they almost look like marbleized or artisan type glass baubles here. And I did get the idea from one of the artisan posts on Stampin' Up's site. It's actually this one here, and I don't have the artisan's name, but it did come from Stampin' Up. It's kind of the idea. I've just reversed things a little bit and just changed things up just a bit, but that was the basis for my kind of idea. And I'm just going to use the last gold one off this one. I wonder if I could use these blue ones. If they actually, can I use the blue ones? I probably could, but I'm not going to. I think it's just one additional color in there that we don't really need. So I'm going to pop one of those there, one down here like this, and then one up over the Merry Christmas. Just draws the eye around. And there we have 2 cards using the Bauble Blooms Bundle. And this one is Thoughtful Journey DSP. This one is Season of Elegance Designer Series paper, and they both use the traditional sparkling sequins. So stay tuned. We've got one more card idea this week, and then the review on Saturday. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.